are interested in learning how to just basically be confident on camera, how to look and feel natural, if you want to strut into the spotlight, this is the place to be. Let me introduce you to my girl, XayLi. What's up? Say what's up.
Hey, Stephanie. Hey, everyone. So excited to connect with you guys.
Oh my God. If I could have like my own heart emoji just beating out of my chest right now. If it was Wednesday, this would be Woman Crush Wednesday because you guys, it's about to get
No, that's how
lit.
I feel about
Oh
you.
my
That you're.
God. Crushing. If I could have like hearts popping out of my eyes. So listen, you guys, when it comes to being on camera, even the most professional people get a little bit nervous. But XayLi makes it look so flawless, that she just jumps in front of the camera and she's like, I just woke up like this. So I got her on the show because I'm like, girl, you got to share that with me. You got to share
Yeah.
all of that good stuff with me because I got to hang out with you at the Thinking Color Summit for Thinkific not so long ago. And I don't know
Yes.
about you guys, but if you weren't there, she was dropping knowledge bombs left and right. I like ran out of like pages in my notebook. I was like, I can't help it. I was like, I can't help
I
it.
gotta learn some of these tactics. I
Oh
got
my
to.
God. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So, for those of you who don't know who Miss XayLi Barclay is, she is a visual content creation coach for entrepreneurs. So, she teaches them how to step into the spotlight, shine on camera, and be their most amazing, beautiful self. Right? Am I right or am I right? You know
Yes,
I'm
yes,
right.
yes. You're
You know I'm
right.
right. So if you guys are tuning in, let us know where you're watching from. I'm here in beautiful sunny San Diego. Just flew back from Lima, Ohio, running on 3 hours of sleep. But it's all good because I got my magical potion in here.
Ooh.
XayLi, where are you from right now?
I am in Dallas, Texas. I moved to Dallas almost 2 years ago. So I'm here. It's a beautiful day. It's a little cloudy, but we can rock with that.
We can rock with that. It's all good. And you're from Trinidad and Tobago, is that right?
I am. Yes, I'm originally from Trinidad. Yes, beautiful
Oh
place.
my
Never
God.
been there.
I
Have you been, Stephanie?
I have not. I have been to
Oh,
Cayman,
yeah.
and I actually have a couple of viewers like Kalisha who's from the same area. And when I told them, I was like, "Oh my God, do you know who I'm about to have on the show? She's from this
Oh my God.
area." They were like, "What? You got some Caribbean on the show? Let's do this!" And I was like, "Let's do it.
Yes,
Let's do
I'm
it. Let's do it."
flavor.
Yes. Oh my God. We're adding a little brown sugar to your newsfeed right now. Okay, so you guys to tune in. So if you guys have any questions about how to be confident on camera, this is the show for you to go ahead and tune in. If you know anyone else that needs to hear these tips, then have them go ahead and hop onto the show as well. So, XayLi, how did you even get started when it came to doing video? Has that always just been in your
Hmm.
wheelhouse, or is this something that you've just picked up along the way?
It is something that I've always loved the visual content. I've always loved pictures. I've always loved things that grabbed my attention. I think I was a bit too far ahead when it came to, 'cause I was into this years ago. So I would take pictures that were, really professional, that Facebook wasn't up on yet. Everyone was still doing their, selfies. No shade to the selfies, but
Yeah.
I was really early in that game. And I was very nervous about video, but I knew the power that it could, I knew how far I could have reached people. And it's always been one of my goals to leave a legacy,
Oh
right? Crazy.
my gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
Legacy
So
is
I
like
always
my
thought,
number one value. Like on my,
really?
yeah, leaving a lasting legacy and opening the
Hmm.
door for the next
Wow.
entrepreneur, for the next woman to be on camera. You see, I mean,
This
I'm
is
married, y'all, but
that, no, seriously, that's really what it was. And I knew that pictures were pretty cool, but I was always ahead of the game in knowing that video was what I wanted to do. And so I started YouTube years ago. I uploaded like one or two videos and then I deleted it because I was insecure. I felt like, I didn't have anything to say. I felt like I wasn't pretty enough. I felt like,
mhm.
and this was like old YouTube. So I'm super pissed right now because if I had stuck with it, girl. But we're here today and
Yeah.
we're still doing very well.
So then
So,
how did you like what was your trick for becoming confident on camera? Like what did you have to do to finally just quiet that voice in the back of your head because we all get that. I even my clients get that. And I have a couple
yeah,
of tips, but I love hearing tips from other people because maybe mine doesn't work and then just having an arsenal of
yeah,
other tips
yeah.
that I could pull from would be helpful. So what did you do?
I tapped into something outside of myself. So I knew that I needed to show up for the people that were waiting for me. And
Hmm.
so when I made that mental shift, and trust me, it went in stages. Like, so it was, yes, I'm going to show up. I started showing up like crazy, but I would always be perfect and made up. And then I realized that my audience, they weren't always interested in makeup. And so I stopped for my, I have a Facebook group. And so I stopped like even everywhere. If you look at my Instagram, which is like my journal, now compared to years ago, you'll see me with no makeup, natural, just talking to everyone, being myself, because I went through a transition of feeling like I had to be perfect for a while, and
Mm.
the burnout was so real. So I stopped. I really stopped. So it has different phases of showing up for the people that really need you. And so I went through the phase of showing up consistently, and then realizing I want to even show up more authentically. And then I started just, I don't know, it was crazy because it was it was even deeper, the connection. So that's the first thing. Like, people outside of you, outside of this thing that tells you, oh, you can't do this or you're not, people are waiting for you, darling.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's one of the things that most people don't realize is that when people see you on video, they're already rooting for you. They're like, "Oh, I know she's got something good." And they're just like, "Okay, you got this. You got this. You got this." And no one is actually watching your video hoping that you're going to fail, right? Like people want to root for you, and it's just it's strange. I mean, unless you're like a curmudgeon, like living in a cave, and you're just like, you're just like, I want them to fail. Like you just block those people. But I would say like
You
eight out of
know,
10 people are always
right.
rooting for you.
That and one other thing, I don't know, I can't remember who said this, but I always keep it in mind. I always talk about it, like, because you've probably heard it before. But if you ask a question, somebody assumes that you have the answer. It's kind of like I asked you, Stephanie, do you know what the best brand of water is? You're gonna be like, what, Zay? Like, and you're looking for me to give you that answer. So that's a chance for me to say, well, this one has and that one has, and I recommend this. So even if you come on camera and you ask a question or you're presenting yourself in a specific way, people are looking to you for, information or for the answer, especially with video,
Yeah.
because for some reason, video, you just get a whole different, like, people look up to you when you do video. So you get the status faster.
Oh, automatically, right? Automatically.
Automatically, because they're wishing that they can do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah.
That's true. Okay, so your first step is then really just embracing your authenticity and knowing what it is exactly that your audience wants to see. You don't always have to be 100% perfect. Um, they just want to be able to relate to you. And if you're
Yes.
going to be dropping knowledge bombs, which Zay always does, right? Then you're going to want to keep watching. And it's
Yeah.
funny cuz yesterday I did this Instagram story. I don't even know if you saw it. Um,
I've been taking a break from Instagram. I have so many DMs. It's insane.
It's all good. I'm actually happy that you didn't see it because what had happened is I did this Instagram story and I had just had breakfast and I had like I had like a little crumb on face.
Let me,
And I was like,
okay.
you know what?
I had a spinach omelet this morning. I'm like,
I know. And I was like, you know what? I could be really embarrassed about it, but my audience was just like, it's all good, Steph. You're human. I
oh,
love that you still did it anyway. And I thought I was like, thank you, team. Thanks for looking out. But then like I cursed my friends. I was like, how are you not gonna tell me that I had a crumb on my face?
y'all let me come on camera with this crime. But you know what? The good thing is that you develop a relationship where we're all friends.
Yes.
So those friends of yours told you, even though these shade to them didn't,
Shame on you, Mike Alton.
Yeah, no, so that was pretty cool. Wow. So you rocked out with it.
You know what? I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it up just to show that I'm human, and I'll do another video later because I feel like, yeah, you could take it down, but whatever, it's all
Wow.
good. And some people aren't always trying to be nitpicky. They're not trying to say like, oh, you know what, her hair isn't parted correctly, or there's a glare in her glasses. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
That's the self-talk
Mm-hmm.
versus what's real. And so I went through a period where I wrote those things down. So I wrote down what I thought about myself, and then I wrote down what was real, because those two things are two different conversations.
That is very true. That is very true. Because I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes people keep telling themselves this story of like, oh, you could have done better, you could have done better. It's like, how long are you going to tell that story? How long, why not tell your story of like, I'm a freaking goddess and I'm going to be on
Yes.
camera and
Yes.
it's totally going to be fine. It's totally going to be fine.
Yes. That's what I do. So that's kind of what confidence is based around. You writing down what you think about yourself, right before you record, and writing down the complete opposite of that. So it's like if you're thinking, I'm boring on camera, no one is gonna look at me. I have you write down, I am amazing on camera and everyone is tuned in.
Yes.
I feel like you
Because,
need to put those things out there.
yeah, you want to speak it into existence, right? And I think it's also helpful when you write down the negative stuff because you could say, um, let's say your negative thought is, I am boring on camera. Well, expand on that. What makes someone boring on camera? What
That
makes someone
part.
boring on camera is if they don't have any inflection point when they're talking on camera, if they're not moving their hands, right? And then you realize, okay, that's what equals boring. And if I just avoid all of that, then I could be like Zay, and I could Zaylee, and I could be absolutely amazing. Oh my god.
No, you're so right because there are some times where I just pop on and I don't really have anything to say. And I'm like, oh, yeah, well, this is why. So, also, a good tip is to think about what you wanted. Like, what are the things that you're interested in? Like, if a video is boring, you're going to click off of it. So,
Yeah.
you know that you don't want that for your people. So, talk. First of all, have a conversation with these people, right? Have a conversation that's just like if you're talking to a friend or if I'm telling you, Stephanie, this is what's going on. Could you? Because another part of confidence for me is thinking that we have to be somebody else.
Oh my god, yes. Yes, you're like this is my newscaster voice or and I'm like, you know what? That's not me.
Like,
That's not me.
girl,
And if anyone ever meets me in real
exactly.
life, they're going to know that's not me. And so talk more about that. Like you don't have to be someone else. Be
You
you.
don't. You do not. That's the thing that I get the most. And I'm really, really thankful for that when people tell me, oh my gosh, you're this exact same person online as it. And I'm like, well, what else is going on? Like, what? People
You
aren't themselves. But
you're
yes,
like, "Oh my gosh, do people got stunt doubles? Like what's going on?" I actually, you know what? Like Instagram people mess with me all the time cuz like they'll come up and I'm like, "Girl, you be filtering nonstop." Cuz I was just like, "What? What?" I love people on video because you know exactly who they are. If they have a crumb on their face like me, whatever. But they're real
no,
and you get to know them. Um, and it's not filtered in that sense, right? I mean, yes, you could use story filters and whatnot, but I just feel like when I see someone on camera and on video, I know how they talk. I know how they are naturally because
yeah,
most of the
you
time,
instantly know. Like,
yeah,
I could meet up with that person and be totally cool. Like,
yeah.
we can vibe,
Like I feel
you
like
know?
because you're in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I feel like if I hit up Dallas and if I'm at like the convention center and I see Zaylee at the across the room, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna holler out and I'm like, like it's gonna be instant. Like I just know that because I get that feeling from
Yes,
you
no,
on
it is.
camera and not on like from an Instagram post, right?
Right. So that's where the transition for me came from pictures to I know I need to do this, especially in the direction that I was moving, where I knew I wanted to change other people's perspectives about things and really influence people. I knew that video had to be, a huge factor. So I started doing it years ago because I understood how much, I can get done with video rather than just posting a picture. Mhm.
Oh, that's very true. Well, which I mean, but let's be honest though, your pictures are bomb. Okay, so let me just show you guys because the first time I ever hit up this girl's website, right? I'm about to blow you up right now. The first time I went to her website, look at this. I was already scrolling through it. I was like, first of all, look at this studio setup. Look at her. She just did you take these photos of yourself?
Yeah.
See, right? She knows her camera angles. It's all colorful. It's all visual, and it's just amazing. This cracks me up. You taking the selfie of you taking a selfie. That's so meta.
That part.
I was like, this girl, she got it going on. I
I'm
need to take
dead.
some notes. I need to take some notes.
Oh,
So
thank you for
yeah, and shout out to
that.
Rob because Rob is like Zaylee's photo game is the bomb. So So not
Thanks
only,
for
I know, right? Everybody loves Rob. Rob.
that part.
That's what's up. So the techniques that you use to go on camera to feel confident, sometimes it's not one size fits all. What are some other
Mhm.
tricks that you do with entrepreneurs when you realize like, oh, okay, that didn't work from them, then let's try this trick and let's see if that works out for them.
I really feel like addressing how you feel about yourself is one of the biggest parts of it because a lot of times we really tell and I feel like this is for anyone, right? And sometimes I think that it's not that it doesn't work for everyone. I feel like sometimes it takes longer for some people to get how beautiful they are than others, right?
Yeah.
So, really, one thing that I always recommend is if I meet someone, if we have a consultation call, I tell them, step away. Like, step away from the internet for a bit because
Ah,
you've lost yourself there, right? So, I do that a lot. Like I do it myself. Like I'm not on Instagram right now. I took a break from it
yeah.
because it was so hectic after the summit that I needed to step away for a bit. If you really want to find me, you can send an email. Like you can find me.
Yeah.
And there are people that have found me. But sometimes you need to detox mentally so that you could focus and get work done. Because a lot of us we work from home, we can get lost on the internet. I mean, it's a black hole sometimes. So for me,
Yes.
I realized, and when I started talking about it, I realized that a lot of my audience was going through it as well. Because when you work for yourself, you set your schedule. So it's kind of like you can just roll over and get online, and you can easily tell yourself, this is work. But girl, that scroll ain't work. You got stuff to do.
Stop trying to find the bottom of the Facebook timeline because you're not.
Ain't
Okay?
no bottom.
There is no bottom. It's
Yeah. So take a break from everything so that you can gather your thoughts. Because what we're doing is we're ingesting everyone else's thoughts, right? And we weren't built that way. That is
yeah.
not how we are. So we're kind of rewiring ourselves now. But as people, we weren't built that way. We weren't built with the constant criticism of others. And, we weren't. So sometimes you really need to step away so that you can focus on your people, and
Mm.
then when you have that figured out, then you can step back in the game, right? So that's a part of kind of understanding who you are and your value. Don't get too caught up in the online space. Remember, social media is a tool, darling. It is called content marketing. Get on there, do what you got to do, and get off.
That is very
So
true.
that is a huge part of why we loathe ourselves. Like we tell ourselves things that I wouldn't tell you that, Stephanie. So why am I talking to myself this way? Or why am I,
Oh my god.
oh,
Yeah. Okay, so that just triggered something in me, right? Because sometimes the things that we say to ourselves are so mean. And you're just like, you would never say that to Rob or to Mike or to Anisha or to Zaylee, everyone that's watching. You would never say that. So why would you even say that to yourself? Be kind to yourself. You can't expect others to respect you if you can't even respect yourself, right? You gotta love yourself too. And if you don't, that's definitely going to come off on camera. And so when you're one with yourself and when you're cool with yourself and you love your imperfections, then you could go ahead and step forward
that-
and just shine.
exactly. You have to address, like, and I'm not saying on camera address it, but you have
Yeah,
to know this is me and this is how I'm going to show up. So you can't be mad because somebody told you something. It happens.
it happens.
I
Yeah.
can't, if I show you my YouTube comments, the ones that spam catches, you're gonna be like, girl,
Oh
and
my
I just laugh.
gosh.
'Cause, bro, you don't even know me.
Yeah. No, I had someone leave a comment on one of my videos, and
Mhm,
I had been traveling for like
mhm.
7 hours, like on a plane for 5 hours, and then I got like this negative comment on YouTube, and they're like, "Oh, this content is old," and I was like, "Well, yeah, because this was 2 years ago. Things
That
change."
part,
And
sure.
then the response back, and this was Kermit the Frog. I don't know what's up with you, Kermit the Frog. I don't know why you hating on YouTube videos, but Kermit said, Kermit said, "Well, I don't really care anymore." And I was just like, you know what, womp womp. Sorry, Kermit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you have to know that those things are going to happen, but that has nothing to do with you. And it's
Nothing to
crazy
do
because
with
a
it.
lot of times the things that they're saying to us, we talk to ourselves like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you have to know like how to navigate through those things. Like you have to get to a point where it's just a soul glow, like you know how beautiful you are, you know how good of a person you are, you know how you show up for others, you know how you show up for yourself. And so you're able to just push past all of the things that you might be thinking and just
Mm,
deliver when you get on camera.
love it. So feed yourself some positivity. Step away from like what other people think is what beauty means or what confidence means and get to be one with yourself. Write it down. Keep that around, you know, and then just own it. Like I know for me, whenever I jump on camera, I get butterflies. And sometimes I get really nervous. But I
Oh,
know that sometimes the feeling of nervousness can also be a trait of just being excited.
wow.
You
It
know,
is.
sometimes
Yeah.
when you're excited and when you're fearful, they're actually reversed, right?
Yeah,
So you're
no,
not
you're
really
absolutely
scared, you're just
right.
really excited. And so, how do you help someone who, jumps in front of the camera and their palms are starting to get a little sweaty and their heart rate starts to beat a little faster? How do you get them to calm down?
Boy, I thought my internet froze. How do you get them to calm down? I think what eliminates that for my people is planning, like
Mm,
knowing what you're going to say, and also just being prepared for. I mean, I really teach pre-recorded video,
mm,
so it's a bit less scary. So I really teach them to make friends with the lens,
yes,
right?
yes.
Right, that rhymes, right? Friends and lens. But you've got to make friends with your lens. Like it's just another person that you're talking to. I mean, I can imagine for you, like teaching live video is scarier. Although I have met people that are more nervous about pre-recorded than live. So I've had both sides of it. But
Yeah.
if your content is conversational, like I had one of my students in Starship Grow the other day, she was looking at one of the courses and she was like, XayLi is just really on here having a conversation.
Yes. That's all it really is.
Yes,
I mean,
that's all that it really
because
is.
okay, so what camera are you using right now for the show?
Uh, right now I have the Logitech Brio. Simple, easy, no crazy settings. Like, because I'm your real techie girl, but that like there are times when you just don't need all the drama going on. So I
That's
have a
very
webcam
true.
up right now.
And
Yeah.
so even with the webcam, what I find to be very helpful is that even when you're looking at it, you see your reflection. And so if anything, you just pretend that you're talking to yourself.
I like that look. Girl, I have full blown conversations, so I will with myself. So I that
Okay, I thought I was the only one because I'll be in the car with like the top down and I'm like, "Oh girl, you look good. Oh, thank you." You know?
full blown.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
that's a good
Good,
tip.
good,
I like
good.
that one.
I love it. Okay, so for those of you that are tuning in, what we're talking about is how you could be confident on camera. And if you're already nailing it and if you're already amazing, kudos to you. But sometimes if you are doing social media for clients, right,
Mm.
you have to convince your clients on how they could be confident on camera. And sometimes those strategies are not one size fits all. And so we've talked about things about like writing down about what's positive about you and then making a comparison chart between what makes someone feel not confident on camera and defining it so that way you know what to avoid, right? And then we've also talked about like how important it is to feel as if on camera you're just having a conversation. I find that to be the most helpful. I feel like XayLi and I were just kind of like long lost best friends.
I
I swear,
think so.
girl, I swear, the next if ever I'm ever in the same city as you, I'm probably gonna tackle you,
Yes.
and I'm just gonna be like, oh my god, come here.
Listen, I'm here for it. No, so true, so true. And I like that you said like, there are things that may not work for us because I'm learning some things talking to you too. Like, ooh, I like that or I like this because, it's different for everyone. And some things may not work for some people and some
Yeah.
things may work for some people. Kind of like makeup.
Yes.
Guys don't get it.
Yeah.
Right? Ladies do get it. But I feel like we have to also understand that when you're online and you're seeing all the things that are going on, the people that you see are probably influencers or beauty bloggers and,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And so my people are sometimes like, well, Zay, I don't really wear makeup. So how do I, girl, well, don't.
Yeah, why?
You know,
Yeah, to your point earlier, why try to
be
pretend that you're
you.
someone else? Because when
Yeah.
you are trying to win a new client and you show up in person to that business meeting and they're like,
Mhm.
whoa, that doesn't even look like you, they're going to feel like they just got catfished. So you might as well show up as yourself, right?
No, it's so true. And so there was a time where, like you said, catfish, I used to make a joke because I used to wear wigs and I would say, I would laugh on camera and be like, I don't even know how you guys still pay me because I show up with a different wig every week.
I love that you mentioned that
And
because
so, yeah,
I've honestly thought about wearing wigs. I have like five, right?
you have wigs. Oh
I
my
have five.
gosh.
I have five of them because, as a mom, I was like, I don't have time to
Yes,
curl my hair. So if I could just put like
that part.
the one with the nice waves,
You'd be so cute. Yes. Where are these pictures?
they're on
I'm I
my
need visual
secret Instagram, which I will share with you later. Because I got like a purple
part.
lavender one. Um, we're getting off track.
I'm like all excited now.
We're all excited now. We'll have a different show, and people won't know who we
Yeah,
are.
that part.
How do you get
Wow.
people to remember what to say when they're on camera? What are your tips and tricks for that?
I feel like knowing, what you're bringing them in with, right? I say no more than 3 points.
Mm,
So definitely get your notebook out. I remember there was a time where I felt like if I was looking at my notes, I didn't know what I was girl by. Now I'm like, guys, my notes are right here. So if I look down, I'm looking at my notes because that means I really took my time to understand what you guys want, figure out exactly how I can deliver it to you and, deliver it. And then you close out, like you review and then you close out. You want to always bring it back together and close out. It depends on like what the live is about. You'll have your call to action and things like that. But
yeah.
at the same time, people don't have all day. So be respectful of people's time, you know, and really keep it like we said before, conversational. But make sure that you're touching on your points. Like, what are 3 things that they can take to next level, whatever
Yes.
whatever it is that you're teaching, but write it down and don't we are not here to be perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well,
even if you're looking at your notes, look at your notes, like, share. I feel like
yeah.
when you really share in that way, you remove all barriers of what you think someone might be thinking about you.
Very true. Very true. And let me tell you guys, like, so whenever I do a show, I write my notes down. So you saw the Facebook event where I'm just like, okay, this is what the show's about.
Mhm.
In this episode, you're going to learn three things. And
Right.
if you haven't noticed, every single time, this is a trick for me, for you guys. So any of you that are live streamer, anytime I need to go back to my notes, I flip the screen over to XayLi, and then I go back. Because I was like,
Oh,
oh, wigs. We could talk
you
about
know
wigs
what?
all day, but hold up. I had like a second point that we had to go back to. And then that's my trick. I'll like go back, put XayLi on the screen, make sure I'm looking at it, and then jump back on.
What's Stephanie? Where's my notebook? Because I need these notes that you have. Oh my God. Are you looking at your notes right
I'm
now?
looking at the comments right now.
That is genius. I like that. I'm stealing that. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking. I wanted to look at Anisha Collins' comment right now because she just shared, wow, this just hit me. I wear a wig because I had cancer and shaved my head, and I wondered if that was an issue for people, but it hasn't been. So that's great to put that out there. And I honestly think whatever makes you feel confident, whatever makes you feel
Gosh,
good,
oh
Anisha,
gosh.
freaking do it.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what? And the beautiful thing about us having our own businesses is that we get to show up as who we are and we get to add depth to our stories, the things that have happened to us that are, were probably challenging. So, Anisha, that's absolutely amazing. You have a right to wear every color wig of the rainbow that you
We
would
could have
like
a whole
to.
show. I already got goosebumps. I'm telling you,
Girl.
I'm about to blow up my Instagram stories right now just for you, and I'm gonna tag you in every single the both of you, Anisha
Okay.
and XayLi.
Now you're gonna make me download Instagram.
Okay,
But
sorry.
no,
Yeah.
do it. I'll download it
Well, you
just
know
for
what?
you, Stephanie.
So I was at the
But
conference.
that's amazing.
So I was at the
Sorry.
conference
Uh-huh.
like yesterday with Mia Voss. And she was
Uh-huh.
talking about like how what we wear as women on camera or whether we're on stage, it's not about being fake or whatever. It's about what makes you feel powerful and confident. And if anything, just view your wigs or your false eyelashes or whatever as just that's your super cape. That's your cape,
Oh,
and that's
I
what makes you
love
feel
that.
good. And don't be ashamed of it. That's just
Yeah.
who you are, and go for it.
That's like my glasses are my super cape. Now
Really,
y'all know.
this is
Because
why.
everyone thinks I need glasses, but I don't. I really use glasses to protect my eyes from the blue light, but they're
Mm,
not, none of my glasses are tested. I just love glasses. And I just feel like, when I put them on, it's like, okay, Zay.
okay, I love that because even I was just all like, I was trying to guess what yours was. I was like, maybe it's her earrings because I'm always in love with your earrings, and you actually make some of your own earrings, right?
Do I do? You know what's crazy that you say that? I swear you are here in Dallas. I thought about that today. I'm like, what are my lucky earrings? Like, I'm like, maybe it's these because I kind of like these.
Yeah.
It's so crazy that you said that.
I was looking at my earrings and I was like, I got
That's
some whack earrings. I need to go shopping.
I need some new ones. I'm like, you know what? No, these are my lucky earrings. I'm gonna wear them. But
I love it. It's like a signature look for you. And like every time I was like scrolling through your website, I was just like, boom, God, I love this. I love the color. I love the pop. Which brings me to my third point for this show is, you guys, do you see her studio behind you? Like, please tell them the story of that wall behind you because how you
Ah,
designed it.
guess what?
How you designed it.
Oh, okay. So this is something that I wanted to do for like 2 years. And I had so many like reserves about it. Like, are the dots too playful? Are they? But they're actually decals. So they're actually individual dots. So they took like 2 days to stick individually on the walls. Because I wanted something different. I wanted,
Yeah.
you know what? I like stopping people to hear so that they listen to what I have to say. So if you're scrolling and you see my video, you're gonna stop, sis or sir.
Slow your
Right.
scroll, sir or sis.
So that's what it is. Just having something up there that kind of pops out at you that is different so that you can be like, hey, I'm smart and I have something to say. Listen to me.
Yeah.
So, that's really and honestly that has been attention is currency, man. And so if you're like me, I'm not the person to be like, hey, listen. I'm not that person, but I can do that visually. So that's my superpower. So that's what I tap into
Oh,
every time.
I love it. Yeah, because in the news feed, you could either get stuck in the sea of sameness and have a plain, boring background, which by the way, I mean that's okay if you're starting out. I totally get it. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that you have to go run out and like buy stuff all the time to do your studio. These are just a couple of tips if you want to go ahead and stand out from the sea of sameness. And you're right, because I've never seen anyone have a polka dot background. And
Oh, it's crazy.
at first I thought it was like one of those removable wallpaper things. I was obsessed with that.
Uh, yeah.
But you're like, no, Steph, I actually individually did these. I was like, that is crazy.
You know what? Because before I had a yellow background, and that's how
Oh,
I would stop people on the internet. So I had a bright yellow background. And as you grow, it's time to change things. So as
yeah.
I grew, I was like, you know what? I really want to change this yellow. And so I asked people, and they were like, no. Anytime I see yellow, I think it's you. And I'm like, damn, that's good because that is what, pop visuals are. You want people to, if they hear something or see something, you want them to think of you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That
And so
remind
I was like, uh-huh.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just like, I have to up level this yellow. So
Yeah, yeah. That reminds me of my homegirl Goldie Chan because she actually has green hair. Like legit green hair.
yes, I
And
followed her because of you. Yes.
yeah, and so she's like the Oprah of LinkedIn, and like everyone knows her because of her of her gray hair. And I was like, "Is your hair really green, or do you wear a wig?" Going back to wigs, and, she
Is
was
it
like,
a wig?
"No, it's her real hair."
Oh, it's her right
And
hair.
she was the
Wow.
type before she got really big, she would change her hair color like every 6 months or so. But then it became her signature trademark, and I feel like the polka dots are your signature trademark. Same thing with her hair. Even for like Lights Camera Live, the very beginning when people watch the show, it's always me inside the desktop, right? That has always been
Yes,
like my
so cool.
signature. intro. And you know how it is, often imitated, never duplicated.
That part.
Because, right? But what are some other tips on how to create a scroll stopping studio?
Your light is very important. So whether you invest in a simple light kit, right? There are some really affordable ones out there. Lighting is super essential because most people are always underlit.
Mm,
So, if yeah, girl, like where is your light? But yes, so your light, as in your lights around you,
mm-hmm.
and your light. Let your true self shine out. Like I love smiling. That's who I am. If you meet me in person, I'm always laughing. I'm always, and even when I'm doing shoots, like I make a joke out of myself. Like,
Oh my
you
gosh, I laugh at
know,
myself all the time.
you have to learn how to do that. And so in that way, for me, the biggest tip is really lighting. And if you have some kind of prop or something that you always have, or you're always like, if I don't know if Rob is still here, but Rob is obsessed with coffee and coffee shops. And now I can't think about either without thinking about Rob. Right. So you find that thing that you really like. Don't let it be something you don't like, because then you're going to be like, this thing again.
Oh my God, that was me. That was me. When I first,
Tell me about that.
okay, when I first started live streaming, I had this horrendous bookcase behind me. And it was only
Mhm.
horrendous because I read a lot of books, right? And so it
Right.
looked really disheveled. And I tried to
Because
be
you
all
were using it.
creative. Danny, I
Yeah.
tried to color coordinate my books and then I could never find my freaking books again. I was like, never again. So then instead of using that
Oh,
wall that had the bookcase, I just flipped my camera around and then I dedicated
boom.
one wall to just
Yes.
have the props.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that makes so much sense because my wall is just this. There's a door right there, and then I have light. Like I have two huge windows with natural light. So for me, and for me, like even apartment hunting, because sometimes I work from my apartment, sometimes I come into the office. Like in scouting both, the main thing on my mind is this is my business. So I don't care if my bedroom doesn't have walls, but somewhere needs to have a wall that I can dedicate to video. So just like Stephanie said, like finding a space that is native to what you do is so important.
Yeah. And get creative with it because I've actually had other friends like who when she first started live streaming, the only place that she could go in her house was in her laundry room. So she would put like a stack of books on top of the dryer and then her laptop because that was the only area um, where it wouldn't be so cluttered. Because sometimes you get
Yeah.
distracted when there's clutter in the background and you're like, what is going on back there? Unless it was intentional, right?
Yeah.
Like I've seen like Roberto Blake, like when
Yeah.
he does his videos, like he'll have a monitor and then, oops, yeah, in the monitor, it'll have like that little
Yeah.
like wavy thing and it keeps you
Yeah.
hypnotized because you're like, is something going to pop up on there?
You're so right about, girl, you don't know. Like now I know I'm not crazy. Stephanie's crazy with, with me. Like, because I would think the same thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Oh wow. No, so true. So yes, find a place that, and it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Like for me, that yellow back, there's a saying where uh geez, what is it, Stephanie? Creativity, no, like in other words, when you don't have the things that you would like to have, you get
Yeah.
creative and you make something happen. There's a like fancy thing for it. If you remember it or if you know it, please share it in the comments. But um, that yellow background was actually a little corner of my living room in New York.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
So I would have, yeah, I had like, it was the jankiest setup, girl. And I share pictures of it like in my membership and things like that. But
Yeah.
you would never know.
You would never
Okay.
know. Yeah.
So that's
There's,
why I like to go back there. Like, this is what I started with, and you can too. And I
yeah.
made some of the best videos there.
I mean, when I first started, you guys, I used a green screen because I had to hide that hideous
There you
bookshelf. And
go.
so I
There
put
you
a
go.
legit green screen behind me.
Yeah.
And then I would just put a stock photo right there. And then people thought that that was my office, but it wasn't. But for those of you that want to use a real space, I did this funny Instagram story a long time ago where
Mhm.
actually I went I went to the 99-cent store.
Mhm.
They have some really cute props that you could use to design your office. Like this over here, I actually got that from Target. That was probably like $15
Oh,
or so. But then the 99-cent store had it for like $6. And I was like, what?
girl, you got scammed.
I know, right? It's like,
Okay, that's ooh.
yeah. So
Let
you
me
can
check
get
out
really
my local 99
check out your local
store.
99-cent store, your Goodwills, any of that stuff, because you could find some really creative things. Like I found that little Buddha thing. That's actually, in the
That's
fish
so
tank, when
cute.
you decorate your fish tank, and then you could put a little, that's actually a fish tank Buddha. But you wouldn't
You
know. You wouldn't know.
you would not know. That's even like it's so crazy. So when I was in that stage of doing it in my living room, I would be so upset that I would have to if I took the fabric down, it would get wrinkled, right? And so I went to the fabric store and I ended up asking the guy, like, this is like the your I like to say your hood fabric store. There's one in every hood. Where I asked him for wrinkle-free fabric. And so he gave me poplin and I realized, oh my gosh, it doesn't wrinkle. And I was so excited to share that with my people. It was probably like $2 a yard. So you can really buy a good bit. And I always told them, don't buy an expensive green screen because you could just buy green poplin and it's $2 a yard
I wish I knew that.
versus $30.
I wish somebody told me that because I went on Amazon and I got that one. It's like the portable
Mm-mm.
green screen, and
Yes,
then you could
ma'am.
collapse it. I can't collapse it
I
for
had that too.
stuff. I can't collapse it for anything. So my husband actually filmed me in the living room, like, I'm trying to collapse this. I keep getting
Triangulating.
smacked in the
I
face
know
by this
exactly what
damn
you're
thing.
talking
You know what I'm
about
talking
too.
about.
Yeah.
I wish I knew about that poplin.
Yes, no, it's so good. And it's so light that you can actually pin it with pins on the wall and it's so easy. And so you can use green poplin as well. And it's $2 a yard.
I love it.
You get you 2 yards and you're set.
And switch it up, do something different. So when
Yes.
you're doing your videos, because you know how,
Hmm.
I mean, you do branding as well, and sometimes
Hmm.
for certain campaigns, especially for clients like mine, they'll do a brand refresh. Like they might update their website and all of that stuff. What are your thoughts about updating your studio?
You know what? I do believe in that. And it's crazy because I felt nervous about doing it before because I felt like I would disconnect from my people. So and every time you elevate, well for me, it's always nerve-wracking and it's always like, so even now I'm transitioning out of using my wall as much because I have the Dallas City line in front of me, right? So I've recently started filming the other way around, which is
Mm-hmm.
where I am on that side and you see the cityscape behind me. I'm like, you're always gonna go through like damn, who's gonna think that I'm like showing out? But girl,
Oh, no, I
you
mean,
gotta do you. So,
well, and
so
maybe
yeah,
maybe it's because maybe it's just from a female perspective.
yeah,
But I
talk
feel
to me.
like it's kind of like your front door. Like sometimes you'll have like a wreath outside, and it's like it's spring, it's summer, and like you just want to freshen things up, just to switch
Yeah,
it up. So I
yeah,
love that you're open to the idea too, because I've been thinking
yes.
about it. Um, I'm not quite sure what to do just yet.
I know, no, you know what? If it I can't remember her name, the person you just mentioned on
Anisha?
that yes. If it makes you feel good, I say do it. So for me, yes, it's easier to film this way. And I still will do it, but
Yeah.
for specific videos, like if I'm doing a series, because I'm about to release a whole new series on YouTube. So if I'm doing a series, I will do it that way. Or if I'm doing
Oh,
my sales pages, I will do it that way. So because then again, I do teach video, I gotta show up. Something's gotta pull
yeah.
them in.
Yeah. That's baller right
So
there.
for things like that,
You're
yeah.
like, this is for the sales page. This is for the
Yeah, for marketing,
lifestyle.
yeah, I
That's
didn't even
cool.
think about things like that. For marketing, yeah, if I want to throw up a quick, easy video, Like now I have so many things that I want to share via screen share that I
Yeah.
want to make a standard intro for those videos where I don't want to always be like, hey guys, this is what we're talking about. If I do a standard intro, then I can just
Mm-hmm.
do the screen share and throw the video up. Like we got to think about things that make it easy for us to produce, right? And
Yeah.
so I will do that, probably with this background because those are always really quick, easy, and simple videos. So,
Yeah. I love that. I love that idea. And the reason why I'm thinking about this is because for me, like, I once had a guest who had like a chandelier and like a purple background, and then I had like my bookcase with my multicolor stuff, and then it just looked cluttered to the max. And
yeah,
so that's where I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this for live streaming, I need to have like not so much going on because then I wanted to balance out
yeah.
the
Especially
decor.
when it's what you do. That's what you do. So you wanna show up for what you do, which is also why I always want to show up and give great value
Yeah.
because a lot of times when you're doing something like that, you're showing up like that. You also want to show them that, hey, it's just not only about the set, but you're here for my brain, basically,
That's very
right?
true.
Because we all think differently. So if you have good information, like definitely like stand in who you are and when you want to up level. I do believe in it. I do believe in changing, but I also do believe in reaching back and saying, this is not where I started.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you look at like I love Marie Forleo and like her very first videos was her sitting on her couch cross-legged
Yes.
with the
Yes.
brick wall, right? And
Yes.
then it upgraded to her sitting on a bar
Yes.
stool. Like
Yes.
I watch too much Marie. Oh,
No, I always have clients who come to me and I know exactly who they're going to tell me they want their videos to look like. And I send them all the way back. Like, Marie didn't start there.
no.
your Her day 100 is not going to be your day one. And what you're going to do is frustrate yourself over the looks rather than thinking about your strategy for video. That's my main thing.
Yes.
Understanding your strategy for video before you even, think about like even my path for my students,
Mm-hmm.
that they usually want to learn like the setup, and I'm like, that comes after
Yes. And
because confidence is knowing what you're going to talk about and how is it paying off, how is it connecting, what's the return on it before you even get into like what it looks like. Know what you're going to say.
that is very true. That is very true. And P.S. by the way, I think just remember that phrase that you were trying to remember. She said,
Yes.
"Necessity breeds creativity." Is that what you're
Oh,
looking for?
come on. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, for the
Yes.
save. Mm.
But that's it. Yep.
Good, good, good. And then Mike Alton says, always show up and give great value because
Yeah.
that's what people are going to remember. And so, speaking of great value, right? Let's talk about Camfidence. Tell them a little bit about Camfidence and what it is that you do for your clients.
Yes, well, so confidence is really a process. And it's really a process of, like I mentioned before, understanding who you are, who you're going to help or who you're trying to help, understanding what they're looking for, what they need from you, and really just pouring that out on camera so that you're not like thinking about all the wrong things, right? So
Yeah.
like, that happens where we're thinking about the wrong things and we forget that we're really here to connect with people and really change something about their lives, right? So just removing yourself from it and showing up for your people, I feel like that's the base thing where confidence is concerned. So what I did was actually I gave you guys the actual audio and worksheets that I use and still use, that I used years ago and still use up to now, to just get me together before I do something, because we do end up thinking me,
Yeah.
right? But if you are sharing helpful content, it's them. It's you. It's not only about you and yourself. So I feel like when we remove those barriers, we're able to show up as our best selves for our people. And so that's how we get more people. And you know what? People love a journey. So if you don't show up now as who you are, when will you show up, girl? There's never
Oh,
the best time.
right
So
there.
head to confidence.com and get your bundle. So it's an audio and a bundle. And yes. Like people are messaging me about it. Like, how did you even like? I feel like you knew exactly,
You just came out
what
of
I
the
was
womb
thinking.
like, I got
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, so go grab yours. Yep.
I love it. I love it. I think it's going to be absolutely brilliant for you guys to go to Camfidence, right?
Yeah.
Because just imagine what it would be like to hear XayLi's amazing voice in your ear, cheering you along and coaching you along the way. That way you could be brilliant on camera and look and feel natural, not fake, and just kind of owning it in your own space. So thank you so much for sharing that all with the Lights Camera Live crew. Um,
Cool.
and you guys, if you have any questions for XayLi, by all means, go ahead and drop them in the comments now. We've been chatting for an hour. We've talked about camera confidence. We've talked about defining what it would look like for you to be confident on camera, things to avoid, why it's important for you to know what your superhero cape is, whether it's your glasses, your earrings, your wigs, whatever it is, own it. And we also talked about how to make a scroll stopping studio, because let's face it, a lot of people, there's just a lot of stuff in the newsfeed, and you got to stand out from the crowd. And whether it's polka dots in the background or whether it's just like little knickknacks,
Yes.
then that'll help you out. Cool beans. XayLi, did you want to add anything else for the rest of the crew?
No, just that, I'm excited to see you guys get on camera and, really crush your fears and really just tap into, let your soul glow. You have so much goodness to share. People are waiting for you. Don't let what you're telling yourself get into the way, because what you're telling yourself 90% of the time, it is not true.
That's very true. That is very true. And P.S., by the way, you are speaking. Which conference is coming up?
Video Marketing World. I'm speaking at it's in August, and listen, you don't want to miss it because it's going to be absolutely amazing. And I'm actually heading to speak at a meetup right after I talk to you this evening, so I'm excited about that too. We're talking about video for courses, so it's the Texas Video Creators Meetup. Not that you guys are in Texas, but you still have time to plan for Video Marketing World. I would love to see you guys there.
That's amazing. And that Video Marketing World is in Dallas?
Yes, it's
In
actually in Dallas.
August.
Luckily, right? Yes, and then I'll be in San Diego. I just remembered in October, Stephanie. Yes,
Oh my God.
I just thought about that. Yes.
I will pick you up from the airport. I would be like,
don't get me excited.
all right, you
But no,
guys.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in to today's show. It's been a while since I've been on the air. As you guys know, I've been running around from conference to conference. Yesterday was the second to the last, and then it's VidCon. Boom. And then time's going to fly, and then October's going to come, and then I'm just going to be like, XayLi, welcome to San Diego.
I know, right? We'll probably do a video for you guys.
For sure. It'll be like in slow-mo where I'm like running.
Don't put that visual in my head, because I will really do.
We should totally do that. Like, as soon as we see each other, let's pretend to just like slow run to each other, okay? Just like,
I'm here for it.
I love it when you get like two video content creators together, because then our ideas are just like mind-blowing. And then we'll send it to Rob too.
Yeah.
Cool.
That part.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm probably going to hang out with XayLi just a little bit longer on Skype, but I will let you guys go. Thanks so much. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and then XayLi and I will go ahead and answer them. So for now, you guys, peace out. We'll talk later. Bye.
Thank you.
See you later.